Hey, it's me, the one and only Chief Treble Maker. The Chief Treble Maker, that's me. I am Takenya Battle, the Chief Treble Maker at Kenya's Keys, and also the founder of Kenya's Keys Voice and Piano Studio. And, private music teachers who are ready to trade hustle for harmony rely on my expertise, and I'm going to talk to you today. They rely on my expertise to help their businesses sing. But what I want to talk to you about today is it's really not about that $5 rate increase. It's really not. It's not about that $5 rate raise increase, because what I'm seeing right now, the iterations that I'm seeing right now are people who are on the fence about their rate raise. Should I raise it by $5 per lesson or $2.50 per lesson? Or should I only raise rates by $1 every year or $2 every year? Or should I have one price for new students and a different price for my students who are already here? Should I have my rates be frozen at, let's say, $100? If a student starts with me and my rate is $100 a month, I'm going to guarantee that rate for my students. I'm going to guarantee that rate for my students all the way till they graduate from high school. And I'm telling you right now, it's really not about the $5 rate raise, because what I'm hearing in there is, this is what I'm hearing. I hear people questioning the pushback that they think they might receive. I hear people pondering their inherent value of the lessons that they provide and the transformations that they're providing to their students. So it's really not about that $5 rate raise. Should I raise my rates by $5? Should I raise my rates by $1, $2, $3? Should I lock in rates and never raise my rates again for that student? Whatever price they come to me at, that's the price they're going to continue to pay until they leave me and go wherever else it is that they go. It's not about that $5 rate raise. What about the people who, when the panic came, when 2020 hit, there were people who had not, who said, and I was one of them, there were people who said, I'm not going to raise raises. I'm not going to raise rates this year. There were people who said that. And I was one of those people up until, because I understand that inflation is a thing, and you actually want to have a life that reflects your dreams, goals, and desires. It's not about that $5 rate raise. What it comes down to is you haven't priced yourself for profit in the first place. You haven't priced yourself for profit in the first place. You haven't nailed down your niche. You haven't outlined who your dream families are to work with. You haven't sustainably created a system where the students that you absolutely love to teach work with you. They will find you. You haven't come up with a way to plan for pitfalls. You haven't come up with a way to eliminate makeup lessons altogether. Let me go back to planning for pitfalls. Because, as educators, we're natural givers. We're wholly dedicated to seeing our students succeed, and sometimes at our own self-detriment. We're natural givers. And what ends up happening is that when something happens to us, some circumstances that are beyond our control, we still think that we have to give to other people. We still think that we have something, we got to keep giving. Well, here's how I planned for pitfalls, and that plan for pitfalls actually led to profit. You have to have a plan. One of my children was ill. Unexpectedly rushed to the hospital, had emergency surgery, which spiraled into a 5-day hospital stay. So I missed lessons that entire week. But I had a plan for pitfalls to where I ain't missed no money. I didn't teach anybody that entire week. I did not physically extend. What's going on, Kelly? I didn't physically extend or deliver a lesson that whole week that my son was in the hospital. I taught no one, but I still profited. So you guys have to have a plan for pitfalls in place. If you don't have a plan for pitfalls, you're setting yourself up for disaster. You're setting yourself up for disaster. So it's really not about that $5 rate raise. If you're trying to figure out, well, I want to make sure that my lessons are always affordable so that I can continue to serve a certain population of students. I always want to make my lessons accessible to all because I want to teach everyone. That's admirable that you want to teach everyone. That's admirable that you want to provide access and equity and inclusion in your studio. That's admirable. But I want you to think about, there are multiple ways, they say there's multiple ways to skin a cat. So this is how I provide access in my studio. I partner with a nonprofit, the Music Link Foundation, which vets families and qualifies them to see if they can actually receive a 50% discount off my rate. The standard is whatever your rate is, you got to take 50% off of your rate so that these families can have access. So you can still be a giver and have somebody give to you in the process. You can be a receiver and a giver at the same time. It's not about that $5 rate raise. It's really not. I think some of the things I'm seeing are, should I give my students options? Should I give my new students the higher rate? I have thoughts on that. But it's really not about that $5 rate raise. Some people say $5 a lesson increase in that rate is too much for people. It's just too much. Yet, if you drive by your local Starbucks, the line is around the corner, down the street, and they're probably getting cited by the city for being a hazard or a violation. What do you do to continue to make yourself be of value in a time where people can very plainly choose where they spend their money? What are you doing as an educator to increase the value perception of the lessons that you provide? You say, I'm in this thing. What up, Kenya? Hey, Ivan. But we can't wait for other people to tell us we're valuable. We can't wait for other people to say to us that, I'm going to do these lessons no matter what. We can't wait for people to affirm and agree. We already have to be in agreement and be taking actions that line up with that. How do you make yourself valuable in a world where people have the power of choice? Because at the end of the day, it's not about that $5 rate raise. It's, do you value what you provide? And are you willing to price it for profit? Do you value what you provide? And are you willing to price it for profit? So there's some things to consider there. There's the cost of what it is to deliver the sauce. You got to cost the sauce. What does it cost for you to have the equipment that you need, the software that you need, the lesson books that you need, whatever tools you need to make that thing do that thing? What does that cost? I bet you if you ran it down, if you haven't done it already, run it down, keep an account. Because it ain't about that $5 rate raise. Sounds like somebody needs to be looking at their money. That's what that sounds like to me. Somebody needs to be looking at your money. Look at your money. Okay? I'm really here to say that I'm looking for 10 private music teachers who want to put their payments on autopilot, harness the power of email marketing to attract new students, and niche down and work with the kinds of students that they actually enjoy teaching. Because everything ain't for everybody, and everybody ain't for everything. So do like Ivan did yesterday. He sent me the secret word, harmony. We had a conversation. And now he's taking action. Ivan is taking action. I say again, it's not about that $5 rate raise. It's about the value perception. Value perception. How do you value what you do? Have you priced it for profit? And so on and so forth. I ain't finna coach y'all in this thing. But get at me with the word harmony if you want to hear more about what I have to offer you. I'm out. I got to teach a lesson in like 15 minutes. I'm out. Holla.